Hello everyone, Polshock, another Omega Series scrim, just running through. I've seen a few games. I mean, we've all played Rosetta an insane amount, but we've seen more 5v5 games on it. So yeah, I'm curious kind of what'll happen. We got Joisco. Whenever I see this name, I think of what is it? The Journal of Islamic Science Communication or whatever it is. That he's an older player though. He's been playing for a while. You see him in 1v1s a lot. Anyway, we got Arm, MasterBel with the super early Arm V Lab, Lovish Arm V Lab, very little core, which is interesting. And not going air, which we've seen a lot more of on this map. Sargeras, core bots, and banana core bots. So 3 arm, 2 core, and what did he decide to go for? Arm bots. We see all the labs on here except for a core V lab to start. And Turbo is what? Core bots. Zhao is just gonna walk, no lab strats. Raikoh also just gonna walk with no sliders. Look at these two greedy goons. Chisato is core bots. 8D is core bots. So, and Raikoh is gonna be core bots. Zhao is the lone Armada enjoyer on this side, going for the maximum greed. I don't think anything can run. I don't think a tick can run down here and survive before it can hug the solars. Raikoh though with the super early walk gets the 10 max, and that already gives him a pretty substantial advantage just in terms of income. But we see initial scouts from MasterBel, so they're gonna see what's going on there. I assume we're gonna see a ton of grunt play. GG easy. Hitting him with the manners, hitting him with the manners. Lovish can be able to sneak in here. What do we got, Lovish? What do we got? No. But this rover does get in. I don't think it can hug this before it dies, can it? Maybe. He's gonna try. No. No, it cannot. So Sargeras is gonna throw down radar before max, and they're still riding out a little bit of this economic advantage. And no air start, which is interesting. So no air start. We see all labs except for core V. We see, oh, does he get it? Oh, it's so close. So close. Close, Joisco, close. Also, I'm not sure how to say your name, so if you watch this video and want to tell me before I officially cast it, that would be wonderful. Chisato going to bring in some grunts to raid, but there's a Centurion defending. Snipes the res bot. That's pretty substantial. What did Zhao? Zhao decided to go arm bots. Delphi yelling at Ural. Seems good, but relatively even game so far, so I like it. The real question is, once battle lines are established, we've seen a few different, we've seen a lot of the fronts where you go to the front and you just start spamming Aphis. The stud team has definitely tried to be a little bit more aggressive, so I'm curious if there's going to be more pressure, if it's just going to kind of stagnate and scale, but I guess we'll see. The other thing that's nice is in 5s we see far fewer rocket bots. And we see a lot more thugs, centurions, grunts. Raikouhs just don't have a narrow lane that they can abuse their range on. So just how it goes. And we see thugs from Raikoh. Let's go. Maybe thug walk mid. Mid does not have a lot of pork. They need some beamers or some twin guards or something else up here. They're gonna try to stop a thug push. Zhao gets gifted some grunts. What a homie from Turbo. Bro, what? It's like 3,000 nanos. I assume he's gonna cancel that. That would not make sense. Earlier Geo. No one's taken this back Geo yet though, and it's not even on anyone's queue. Or since looking. Get him, little Centurion. Get him. Gets the 3, and here is the mid thug walk. Twin guard's going down, but it's not quite gonna live. I think mid just dies, right? I mean, his comm isn't gonna be able to push off the thugs, and as long as Raikoh doesn't get him degunned and just has good repair micro, I think he'll be okay. Thugs are... Thug versus Grunt is just such a brutal matchup unless you can like pop out and get this around. And some blitz trying to harass Chisato, but he pulls him back. And yeah, I mean, Raikoh I think is just gonna walk at Sargeras. This is gonna be kind of a rough fight. And there's a few rocket bots from Zhao putting in work. Was there no, did he E-stall? I feel like he was in degun range for a second there. I don't think he wants to comm trade here though, right? Is there another... Oh, Lovish is walking, so maybe he could comm trade. Zhao's comm isn't close, but he's just gonna back up and give up mid. Chisato's trying to find some weaknesses with these grunts, but not really seeing much. And Sargeras goes down. He doesn't even get Raikoh's comm with it, so massive flood of units there. But Joisco's trying to see what he can do in other parts of the map. Izzy calling the 6-minute GG. We see T2s. We do see an air lab transition from 8D. I kind of feel like the turbo banana lane is just declared peace and they're sending units elsewhere. Same with Joisco and 8D. 8D took this front, but he hasn't. This is kind of a rough geo to hold, I think, when you're in back. Let's see. 28 to 750. 26 to 6, yeah. So they had, these thugs are just gonna walk, but MasterBel, don't get him degunned. Not like this. Unfortunately, and Raikoh just straight up walking at Bell, but he does have a beamer. Can we get a second beamer? Beamer number 2 is up, and he has some tanks. Trying to get beamer number 3. He has a bit of BP, but he might. Let's just go down here. This is a little rough. Raikoh's walking. He's relatively close. Lovish is... What is on Lovish's head? It's got a... Oh. What is? Anyway. So, MasterBel's base goes down. Ton of reclaim here. If we can just pick it up, but there are a lot of commanders, and Bell might lose his comm here. Does he have the E to D gun? Get off like one D gun. Does he just want to trade it? So he wants to trade it out, but Chisato and Raikoh can eat that. AT with the bomber transition. If you can snipe a Geo, always rough. It's a little early. There won't be any AGOs at whatever 8 minutes. Raikoh's gonna eat this, and Chisato's gonna back his comm up. Zhao, meanwhile, has kind of just been chilling. So in terms of unit comp, it feels like now we're seeing a little bit more rocket bot, but still a ton of Pawn, Grunt, Centurion with Raikoh's thugs in mid, which did quite a bit of work. We got 8D coming in. We got 8D. We got 3 bombers, so they should be able to kill that. It's not gonna pop anything else, but it is still gonna mess with eco. Raikoh's comm almost went down, but we already see the T2. Just oh, I like this from Lovish. This is like the DSG strat, the early AGO, just straight into T2, and went Bull instead of Jag, which I also really like. In last Omega series, we saw like the super early T2, but they spammed Jags, and it's always such a rough fight when you have to do like the Jag into Brute. They just do not trade well. Sweet Jesus. Okay. Well, now we know why there was peace all in the Western Front. He's got half the metal and 42 grunts. But he wasn't pressured by Banana, so I'm not 100% sure what to say there. So Sargeras has reclaimed mid, and they double mexed it just to be absolutely sure that they're gonna get those. I think this Bull's gonna put in work. Where's our T2 from? So we have a T2 bot transition, T2 arm bot transition, T2. Do we have any other? So air transition from Banana. kind of feels like it. So interesting that they're going to go arm bots and core bots. I mean, I feel like bots play relatively well in Rosetta anyway. So yeah. What? Nothing yet. Okay. So this bull, 18 kills, is just going to run around and abuse the bejesus out of this T1. But Zhao's fine, I think, with sacking quite a few of these while he waits for his mexes to up. And 8D with the thugs doing a little bit of pushing and pressure. He is upping T2 mexes now, so he probably doesn't want to commit too much into units. But he's going, and Bull's up to 24 kills now. Homie is living the dream. Absolutely living the dream. Pitbull gonna kind of rain on his parade, but up until then he was living the dream. I don't think AD can really push this. Maybe if he can snipe that while it's up. Oh, I take it back. He gets it. And Raikoh with the core T2 VLab swap. Gives this over to Banana to Micro, and we're gonna see a Czar from Raikoh, which is nice. 8D does have the res bots behind this, so I take it back. He's gonna push and pressure this. And here we go. So in terms of T2 transitions, we see every T2 lap, right? Raikoh even did a T1 transition into core, but we see arm bots, core bots, arm V, core V. So actually a really good balance. Hopefully we see that in the tournament as well, where all the labs make an appearance just so we have a better unit mix. Joisco, don't lose your commander. Oh god, is he gonna hug 8D? No, he's just gonna back up. Is 8D gonna hug him is the question. No, he can't. There's an LT. Actually, he could, but he probably doesn't realize everything that's there. So the one bull that was there died, and then the high ground pit bull abusing the range is gonna push him off. 8D has his air wall. I don't really see any crazy scaling from anyone yet, right? Blue team has pulled ahead slightly, but it's not a massive difference. Okay, little hound welder on bottom. GG winded too. If you're new, never make wind on Rosetta. Don't be that guy. AD's just gonna try to do the walk around him strat, but he's gonna run into a bunch of welders, and you should know that's kind of an issue, so he's probably gonna need some T2 pork. You could probably just high ground purse this. I don't think you really want it. Well, I guess you could serb this also, but is he up to all of his main mexes? Not quite. He's upping his main mexes, but he's not quite there yet. And Big Daddy Czar out on the field, ready to absolutely dominate all the T1 this year. And we got Shelly's up top chipping away. Does he have... He's gonna AGO the front. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. So Raikoh with the 2-pounder jammer. Does he have a Fury coming as well? Yeah, Fury is en route, so he'll have everything he should need to keep this alive. And this is actually kind of scary, because there's a T2 lab and the 10 mechs here, right? That's 40 metal a second, and that is a massive boost to anyone's economy. Making banishes now. So Zara's here. It's going to be on radar and cloaked. It's going to be pretty hard for them to rush T1 at it. Oh, I take that back. The pounder dies. With only one pounder, they could probably collapse on it. Raikoh would need to D-gun as well, though. And 8D has just the Grunt Fiend combo on bottom. Looking to push, but it's not quite there yet. And Shuri's come in, but he has the Fury already pre-prepared, so Fury just comes out and kills 14 Shuris and says GG, no rematch. But they do save middle with that, with the Pitbull and with the move down, so Raikoh's gonna have to try to find space somewhere else. But Banana's upper line has kind of fallen to Turbo's Sheldon push. Luckily, he had time to put this AGO up. So we'll see if that pops. It kills everything. But definite lack of scaling from both teams, right? We see the Aphis coming down now. Fusion. You don't need more BP. Please don't put down more BP, Turbo. Good God. Okay. Oh my God, this Czar is in heaven. Just grouped units. Sniping them. Banisher just hit. That Banisher even hit. So he's got Banishers coming, but Starlights are out, and that can definitely put a pretty quick denial on the Czar push. Although I take that back because, good lord, that's a lot of units. So they're just gonna opt for the move past the pork strategy. Reduces some mass twitcher. Let's go, Chisato. So Joisco gets decent D-guns and has that LLT wall, but some of these grunts might be able to get in. He's got one LLT there. He's building a beamer. Beamer's not going to go down. There's a couple snipers which thin the herd, but if these can just run up and hit the AGO and pop it, that's massive. He needs to be really careful too with his comm. Banisher and... Okay, no, JK. Go home, Banisher. You're drunk. Oh no. This is massive from 8D if he can pop it. I think he gets it too, but what's in its explosion? Oh, he doesn't really get too much more, but he does get that. And Joisco, I'm guessing, got the D-gun. Raikoh with the anger D-gun afterwards. He's like, you're not allowed to D-gun me. That's cheating. That's cheating. So he's gonna back up. Banisher is here. That Raikoh needs to be careful. Do they trade? I think they trade. Does he die? He dies, right? So that's kind of scary. I mean, you're looking at a 4-1 comm, right? So that comm trade is a little suspicious to me. Oh wait, where's last comm? I don't know where last comm is. Oh wait, MasterBel's comm died. Someone has last comm, but I'm not sure where. Is this a scuttle? Alright, so frontline. Let's go. Frontline bulwark. And welder push on bottom coming in. Raiko's making a tremor in middle, which is absolute degenerate behavior that I can fully support. Frontline rattlesnakes. So now we're starting to pork a little bit more, but this entire top push, let's go sumos. Are they able to get in? I think they are. A lot of Shuris though, but if there's no ground units, they might be able to just laser them down, and they're trying. It's a slow push. He does have the Shellys behind that are coming. I don't think he quite gets there. They get denied, but decent push through. He does deny those mexes, gets this. He might be able to, I feel like popping that AG probably should have been a bigger deal. We got Tremor versus Arbiter in mid, but Tremor should have the range. Arbs are going to move forward and fire. They each get off a rocket, and do they just die, or does the Tremor take it? Ooh, 25%. We got Fiend streaming in and Mammoth holding the front for now, so both these are going to move forward and fire a little closer. Mammoth coming in, we got the welders on this side, and 8D has Arbs on the other side. Welder into Sumo. And Thug's coming out. The Thug versus Sumo matchup, not going to be fun. Turbo rezzing everything back here and doing quite a bit of scaling, so he does have this BP that's useful now. Pulsar going down, so it feels like this front's going to stagnate real soon, and we're just going to see a lot of scaling going on, but who knows. Zhao, T1, converter spam, he's got his Aphis farm. And Chisato has his Aphis farm, and this is kind of feels like the name of the game when you're playing against a lot of these, you know, top EVA players. Raikoh, Zhao, and Chisato are all top AVA players. 8D as well, but he doesn't really play as much anymore. But just so used to Rosetta, so used to scaling. So once these lines gets established in mid, they're all very good at just transitioning out. You're doing a frontline pinpointer. I guess he feels like it's not safe. Ooh, these were fully exposed, and the Salas are going to be able to get it. I can't believe Tremor is still alive. Mammoth coming forward. No tech, nuke, or EMP launcher in mid. A lot of times we see the EMP launcher behind and just empty other person's mexes. Raikoh on 2 fusion. And Turbo pushing. We got Mammoths. I did pop that AGO. So Banana's pushing back and trying to do what he can, but definitely a tall ask versus what Turbo has and just Turbo scaling. I mean, you're looking at pretty substantial difference in income. But we don't see any T3 yet. It feels like both sides are still pressuring. I say that and then immediately see a gantry with Razors coming out. Okay, okay. Staying corrected. So Razor, I guess there was a lot of spam. One off. This is what haunts everyone's nightmares when there's that tiny little difference. But Grunt's flooding in, getting picked off by this rattle in mid that has been living his best life, along with the 88 kill Mammoth. Where is this Tremor going? Oh no, they are emping it. Where's the EMP launcher? EMP launcher's right there. I saw EMP before and I thought it was a spy bot. It's not. Alright, so Razor's out. Are we gonna see a Shiva transition? I feel like a Shiva transition on top might just blow it wide open. But we got the Mammies instead. Save the eco. He has the eco for it. This is so much BP. It's like 15k in BP. But Razors are out. They're gonna help kind of clean up all of this. And Serb down just to hold. AT's beginning his scale. And red team is just a bit behind on their scaling. I don't think they realized the game state right away, which is probably going to be a pretty big reoccurring theme in a lot of these games. Shuri's out to stop Razors. They are not able to do so. This Tremor in mid, I believe, was resurrected. Oh no, that's the resurrected one, but still battling. Oh, he's going to snipe a ton of the BP. These Manticores? The Trashers. But once these Mammoths close in, it's going to be really difficult to stop. And it's not like they can throw commanders at it. They still only have that one final comm. I don't even know where he is. Oh, it's Lovish's comm right here. Whenever you have the last comm, it's really important to just chill next to some converters. Let the enemy know you have no fear. Mammoths continue pushing. We got Grave Robbers behind, rezzing, repairing, and reclaiming the 3 R's of bar. But MasterBel has put out an insane number of Razors out onto the field. We got 7 Razors. Once a couple of those Razors get up, that push from Turbo is just going to have to absolutely die. But they're getting behind economically so hard, it's a little scary to figure out what they're going to do. AD, attack nukes, standard Rosetta is going to start picking apart pulsars. Ooh, that was a little OP layout right there, boys. A little OP layout. Razor versus Mammy. Razors will win this, but not before the takes out a Razor. Maybe 2 Razors. Okay. So Grunt Spam has met its match. Razorbacks just shred them in a hail of bullets. And Turbo hasn't stopped producing. He's still relatively committed to it, but he's also been scaling this whole time. So we should see a Shiva transition or something similar soon. Arbiters, snipe. And somehow this is still alive, which is mind-blowing to me. So basic spam on bottom, nothing really has happened. This push top has stalled out. Chisato, kinda big. Zhao, kinda big. Turbo, kind of big. 8D, he hasn't played in a bit. All right, he's a little bit slower. And then, is Raikoh just living that? Raikoh's living that 2 fusion lifestyle. He's got a tremor and a dream. Or no, the tremor died. He's got a dream. He's got a dream. All right. Razor's trying to push. These are one of those rough things. Razors are just god-awful into pork. But they did clean up all the spam on top, which is nice. Do they get degunned? No, because the ticks find them instead. So, little LPRC action to try to snipe. So reach on this bad boy. You can actually hit Lovish's base, so... Or hit MasterBel's base. Definitely going to be interesting. Comm goes down, so it's 1 to 3 comm count now. And these Razors in mid are getting pushed back. They've decided to retreat. Banana pressuring a bit with his grunts, but Turbo has overwhelming grunt numbers, 77 of them, and they're gonna collapse in. But we do see some scuttles, uncloaked scuttles from Chisato. First one goes in, and I think it died before it made it there. Self-D? Yeah. Self-D almost kills the Pulsar, but doesn't quite get it. Second scuttle comes in and kills the other Pulsar, and MasterBel is running at Zhao's base now that the... oh, that's a lot of Shuris. Never mind. So a lot of Razors coming, and like 100 Shuris come to try to flank them, but the Razors have good enough A that they just instantly shred it. So Razors are moving towards mid. Zhao had a lot of pork here, but there aren't very many supporting units, and Razors are gonna maybe clean it up. I think they might just be too fragile. We might die to the Pitbull Pulsar combo, but we'll see. More Razors kind of flooding in, and we see Shivas from Turbo now getting ready. The one concern is there's a lot of wreckage on this side, so they're gonna need to secure it. Red spots from Raikoh coming up, and a lot of grunts coming in, but these grunts from Turbo are running into these Razors, and the Razorbacks are more than happy to just shred them. But in the same regard, MasterBel he's printing these Razorbacks getting ready, and we're gonna see a T3 battle. There's just no way this number of Razors is going to be able to withstand the Shiva flood that is about to come pouring out. And Chisato has decided it is time for Shuris. Specifically, he's decided it's time for 100 or even more Shuris. So Shivas are coming, and they're going to get ready to punish these Razors. He is backing up slowly. More Shivas flooding in. Shiva's not doing the best job kiting, kind of face tanking Razors. And that's a massive converter stack. Can he pop it? MasterBel's Razorbacks do pop the converters, so they keep pushing in. Turbo is still flooding in his Shivas, and Chisato is collecting hundreds of Shuris. But 8D and Joisco on bottom have declared peace, so they are chilling, and here come the Shuris for mid. They are spread out, so they're not so many Shuris. And Chisato Shuris just come in and instantly lock down tons of those Razors. But Joisco has Fig, so we're gonna see a little bit of a Fig battle along with a Lich coming in, but I don't think he has the Fig numbers for it. Lich is flying in. It wasn't shot down. It's gonna make it to I take it, it's dead. All right, JK. So massive battle in mid. There is an absolute field of reclaim here, and Chisato is ready for it. There is a massive army of 79 grave robbers that are just eating up everything while he floats 20k metal. Don't float 20k metal at home, kids. And Turbo has his flood of Shivas just coming in and killing all these allied units. Chisato's grave robbers a little bit forward, so they're kind of getting pushed back, and these Shivas are destroying everything on the battlefield. Friend, foe, it matters not. They've got missiles, they've got plasma, and they're happy to use it. But the flood of Razorbacks from MasterBel has not stopped, and these orange Razors are shredding all of these teal Shivas. Zhao has his abductor, so if the Razors push too far, they definitely can't get punished. This is post-emp nerf though, so we'll see how it goes. Banana still hasn't really scaled. We do see a bit more scaling on the red team, but they are incredibly far behind. So it feels like this is just a ticking time bomb where eventually there's going to be so many units from the blue team that red will not be able to compete, and Chisato ate a lot of that wreckage. 418 Shuris. Chisato's ready. You know, he's prepared. But Razor's coming in again for another push. They want these grunts and these Shivas, but Shivas are at range now, and it's real hard to bully off Shivas if you can't get close on them with Razors. So Shivas are just gonna keep chipping away, and Turbo is in full production mode. We just have 2 Shivas on repeat, and they're reaching that critical mass. Sal's going to repork his mid right here, and we actually have a longer 30-minute game. Did these pop anything? Oh, they did. So Raikoh had the hold fire. Originally they were on hold fire. They're still on hold fire, but he built the 2 and he was able to snipe quite a bit of the BP, but shield's up now, and the 2 of them are not going to be able to actually push through and break it. See quite a bit of tick spam. He wants to punish the Shiva choice, but there are grunts with it, so it's going to be pretty hard once the Shivas have reached this critical mass. And 34 Shivas is beyond a critical mass. It is a critical mountain, and they are going to come smashing into mid soon, but they're going to run into 13 Razors. I'm a little skeptical. Here we go. The March of the Machines. The Shivas do not have spam with them, which is a little concerning, but they're going to push straight in and get work done. And how do we really need 729 Shuris, boys? Regardless, they're still producing it and they're ready. So Shiva's pouring forward still. These are on repeat. They're going to run into the Razors, and hey, just, you know, a brief little lull in the action. So we saw all labs in T1. We saw all labs in T2, which is great. And it feels like this is just another game with a ton of scaling. We also see a lot of BP here, which tells me, okay, I thought that was going to be a lull cannon, but it's just going to be an LPRC jungle. Chisato is, well, he's a little big. I mean, 23 Aphis, that's pretty substantial. It's pretty substantial. Bruh. I think that is probably the best description of what's going on. Yeah. So if you ever wanna see just the Shuri blanket, look at that. He's covered the ground, and now we're spamming out Basilisk. So this game has kind of entered a little bit of meme territory. I definitely think the intro was good just in terms of research purposes, but now we just get to see what happens when you let macro masters macro. And that's 43 Shivas. I don't, well, actually, let's see. All right, here we go. The Shivas are committing now. So 43 Shivas versus 15 Razors. Yeah. And Shivas are going to be able to kite, so 57. So actually relatively close in terms of metal counts, but the Shivas, just the AoE and the tank ability is going to be real scary for all these Razors, and they do not want to commit. They kind of can't commit. Shivas are going to back up to their grunt wall, but here comes Banana and Sargeras with a lot of spam, trying to see if they can punish these Shivas. Oh, Turbo looked away for a second, so he didn't kite him back, so the grunts behind are going to probably have to push forward, but Shiva's kiting back. Unfortunately, the Razors are running into rockets fired from the Shivas at the grunts, so even though the Shivas aren't directly firing at the Razors, they're still picking apart quite a few of them, backing up. Razors want to commit, they're running in, and they are not going to be able to make it. It seems like the Shiva wall is just way too strong, absolutely shoving back all these Razors, but MasterBel did have res bots behind, and it looks like they cleaned up most of the wreckage, even though the res bots are going to be dead now. This eco, there's no way. We got 15 LPRCs, and have we seen them fire yet? They're all on hold fire. Alright, when all of these fire at once, we're definitely going to see some things pop, but Turbo might end the game before that. We got grunts collapsing in, and we've got 1,000. MasterBel called it, I think. Decided it was over. So firing, but Turbo might just end the game before those LPRCs can do anything. Shiva's pushing in. Shivas don't have any anti-spam with them right now, but Turbo has an absolute army of res bots behind that are not repairing for some reason, but once they repair... Oh, this lich. 44 kills, 1 bomb. Kind of amazing. Looks like it's going to go down to a screamer, but what can you do? It was worth it. It was worth it. So Shiva's saved the push top and are going to keep going, and Turbo has got the jug behind it. I think these are going to be able to... What are these liches doing? Liches! We got the liches, but they're, you know, they're on break. They're union. That's fair. That's fair. Liches could pop up and kill all these, but definitely an insane later game fight, so they're not going to be able to do too much. Oh, last comm is there, and all these LPRCs are going to fire away at it. Oh, the volley! And Chisato, with the 29 LPRCs, just snipes the bejesus out of them. A little bit of a troll game, but still fun to see a lot of just kind of the early play and to see all the labs represented. Chisato scaled, as it turns out, and Turbo scaled quite a bit as well. So yeah, just another kind of scrim 5v5 on Rosetta.